rise of the eclipse and a absolute extensive deep dive into the kinds of things you could do during the eclipse, whether it be Ashran's magic being a bit more volatile than usual, Volmer's apparently connection with Eardal being far stronger, and same with Jack in some weird way with Ashran. Damar's mental columns being more useful than first thought of, being able to connect to the eclipse itself, to find themselves upon the moon itself and seeing what seems to be some sort of form of soul-like prison.
Amar, you're the DM. Take over.
And while in the meantime, you also had three figures that had been watching you for a time. No longer so once the eclipse is gone. There's nothing much to do beyond a push forward, as a great many things were going on, and at the very least right now, the one thing you understood was to get a single task done. To rescue Cassius. Making your way towards that distance and having a minor detour with a thick fog and a piece of land that seems to be quite literally being infected to the point of death. Arriving at the embassy after seeing some gleaming light in the distance during the early hours of the morning, finding it to be quite quiet, nearly abandoned in aspect. And while Cassius does confirm that yes, there are still guards there, no one would leave an embassy unguarded, Tamar, upon his scouting, found that quite literally there are very little to no ways to get inside, and the only one being is a hatch up on the top. A hatch of which has some sort of mechanism linked to it that, while not a trap, still does something. In that time being, though, Tamar cautiously takes a peek at what this mechanism does, and that's where you pick up. Noticing that there is definitely additional weight to the door itself, the hatch. The moment that you lift it by a mere inch, you start to hear the grind of some kind of metal. The turning of gears. And the chinking of movement. It's not that quiet.
Another thing that we did, what was the creature type of the things that we're watching as a kid? I can't remember.
A celestial.
Yeah, they were celestials.
Okay.
Yep.
That's right.
Right. Zol. We're going to start with disable trap. Or to disable the mechanism.
Give me an intelligence check first.
Okay.
With such a little bit open, you do not see a manner to disable this mechanism in this time. This is integrated into the trapdoor far better than you would like.
I don't know why we're going after the main building. He said he wasn't in the main building.
Yeah, I'm kind of with
He
Asher
said he
on this
was.
one.
He said he was away from the building. So we need to go look for an underground bunker somewhere off to the side.
Okay.
Leave the sketchy trapdoor alone, maybe?
Yeah. Remember,
Not
as
trap.
a player, I was out of it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, but he said that he was not under the main building, but he was underground somewhere off to the side. So I'm assuming that there's some sort of bunker in the grounds of this embassy.
Okay. Then I continue my scouting mission then.
At the very least, in this current moment, you do not see anything atop the roof of the building. And on the outside of the building, there's very little as well.
So he's not in the main building. He's underground somewhere. But it's close. Okay.
Misha with us?
Yes,
Does Misha have locate creature?
that is An interesting question.
So I'm gonna.
And Misha do the same thing that Varel could do.
Go Misha,
I-
puppy carry.
Don't believe she does.
Let's say like a third or fourth level.
She does not.
God damn.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if she could cast the spell, but she probably just doesn't have it prepared.
I think she's only like what, level 4 druid or something like that.
She is not that high level now.
Yeah.
Damn.
You gotta remember, she's a wolf with druid levels.
Yeah. Not to
She's
mention,
doing
y'all
her
y'all
thing,
keep
okay?
ditching her
I
out of the
believe
bigger
her.
fights too.
I mean,
Okay, to be fair, if fighting was how you leveled up, wizard colleges would be about stabbing slimes.
But still,
Bold of you to assume there isn't some sort of underground slime rearing area that they create slimes for wizards to stab.
oh, you thought it for
That's how
oh, okay, you're thinking of
mages
that
are
stabbing.
created.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about wizards. They have probably some underground multi or extra planner building dedicated to just summon shit to stab for the newbies.
No, what they
Yeah.
have is a mob grinder from Minecraft.
Exactly.
mhm.
Facts. Yeah.
It'd be a good business to make for. I have a character whose sole purpose is to create a mob grinder for people to level up real fast.
I mean, that'd be fucking lucrative. Could you imagine just level 20 in a day?
You just have to sign a waiver that just says, I write away my rights that if I die to this monster, it's my fucking fault.
It's not your fault, it's mine, yeah.
No.
I asked for the level 16 Minotaur while I'm a level 3. I knew what I was getting into.
No. You have wands of like firebolt or something like that, and you have it all set magically to a trigger. So the monster summons, and you just press the trigger, and
Technically, you gain experience from also avoiding confrontations.
Not entirely wrong.
yep.
So if you get a bunch of near misses, that's how the mob grinder works. It like almost gets you in a fight, and then it pulls them away last second.
That just makes me
Exactly.
think of Volmer is the fucking dude who's like, if you can hit me in 30 seconds, I'll give you 100k.
Mr. Fuck, what's his called?
I don't
He's
remember.
Mr.
I know he only comes up like 6 times in the game.
If he's Mr. Knockdown from Yakuza,
Maybe. I don't remember. I just know he's a part of the game.
Mr. Try and Hit Me.
That's probably it.
I looked it up. I have the wiki open right now.
Oh my god. Right.
So context, in Yakuza, there's a little side quest in most of the games where there's Mr. Try and Hit Me. You have 30 seconds to hit him, and if you hit him, you get a lot of money. But the problem is, he's a dodgy motherfucker.
The funny part is, though, his first level's completely pathetically easy. It's just when you get to, I think, levels 4 and 5 and 6, he is
Depends.
so annoying.
Back to D&D, back to D&D.
Ball gun, shoot him.
Yep. So I'm gonna continue to look around the premises for other buildings or an outhouse or whatever. it
I'm gonna have
might be.
Howard help him out, too.
I'm having a feeling
Investigation
now
check,
that
and then give Howard an investigation check as well. Which is its intelligence.
I'm also assuming that now that this hatch might be how you open up a trap door somewhere to get to the bunker. But
Isn't the hatch on the roof of the main building?
Yes.
correct.
This probably leads down to guard barracks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If this is up on the parapet area.
Looking around at the building itself, there does not seem to be, by any means, any sort of exterior effects to this building. In fact, it almost looks kind of interesting to your eyes, Dalmor, that there is a strange level of detail that has been put to this building, and yet an equal measure, an extreme amount of effort to make this the most bland bunker that you have ever seen. It is quite literally nothing more than a stone brick that's been hollowed out for the purpose of being made a building. Especially you having come from Dudeman, where there are a fair number of dwarves who take passion and pride in a lot of their crafts and whatnot. You can almost feel the level of lack of care towards this building just in the architecture.
It's a
This
front.
is giving. This is giving the plywood tanks that they used in to create fake armies.
And blow up tanks.
There's no like yard debris that I can look under or extraneous buildings nearby on the property.
None that you can see or tell.
They probably
Interesting.
have an underground bunker with a bunch of tunnels and shit like that, and they slapped this on top as the embassy.
Yeah. All right. So
What
we're
would he
gonna
mean
try
by knock into the main
to
building?
detrap and unlock the front door.
Okay. Go ahead and make
Keep
a lock.
Meanwhile, we're all just waiting in the bushes.
Yep, you guys are like
I'm
300
I
feet
would
away.
have. I'm assuming I would have put comms up.
Yes, I imagine so.
Okay. Right. I don't need to use psychic points for that anymore.
Not this time, yeah. You just need to roll for time is all.
Okay. Did I do that?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Well, we'll do that anyway. All right,
5 hours. Pretty good time.
All right. So you wanted a what now?
Lockpicking check, which you gracefully made one for yourself.
Hmm.
While he's doing that, can we
24.
see anything on like the sides of the building that looks a little off? Like maybe a small dirt mound that shouldn't be there, maybe? Think of like hatches and stuff like that.
Hey, Mr. Wizard, who won't blow up if he casts a spell, you want to do detect magic?
Sure, I can retroly cast Detect Magic.
Make a perception check.
Into the orb.
Sure.
Sure.
Because
Was that me
that-
for perception or just someone else?
That was for Jack.
Okay.
That is, you guys are far from that
Yeah.
building. It is a lot of details being lost in just distance alone.
the reason why I say into the orb is because normal detect magic won't go through that much dirt, if I remember correctly.
No, I believe it's like a foot of dirt is all it
Right.
takes to block it.
Yeah, foot of dirt and like 6 inches of wood and
Then lead.
Right back.
yeah.
But as Damar is working on the lock itself within the main door entrance of this building, as Jack, you're unfortunately unable to see too much due to the distance being far too great and details being not well captured, as Volmar casting Detect Magic within the orb to get a far distant range on the actual visual of where and if magic is anywhere within the building. There are a couple of triggers in the building itself, but nothing really grandiose in power by any means. At the very least, for a vast majority of this entire area and distance, it is completely blank.
And I can't read schools, right?
No, not with that.
Okay.
Are any of the pings underground?
Nope. As far as can be seen, they are at level and or above ground.
Now, are there trees like are all around this whole place? Can we like?
Not really. If anything, it almost seems like they purposely excavated out as much trees as possible. Give as little coverage to anybody who wants to approach.
Oh, there's no one on the parapet or anything like that. Should we just skirt the outside edge? See if we come across anything with the orb.
I mean, we could, but what's the range of it with the orb?
1,000 feet.
We're far away from. We're probably close to 1,000-ish feet from the place, or 600.
As you guys are somewhere in the range of like 3 to 500, somewhere in that
300,
range.
500, okay. I mean, if they have underground bunkers, they probably wouldn't put it like main base directly below the front. That's what my thought process is.
But in either case scenario,
button.
with Dalmar working on the whatever mechanism is upon the front door itself, and it takes some time. It is difficult, it is intricate, and it is definitely something that far more reminisces you to the old days of Dudeman, where things were a lot more complicated and a lot more difficult. And reaching into that memory, finding yourself within the actual lock itself, finding these little bits and pieces that would be easily dismissed as notches from a keyhole feel far more like triggers of some kind. And easily enough to, well, not necessarily easy, but at least with your experience, detectable enough to begin to deactivate them in a short form manner to make it so they are no longer a hazard to you, at the very least.
Excellent. So now I'm. I think invisibility is still up.
With that ring, if I remember correctly, it don't fucking matter as long as you don't attack or do something that would break it.
Right. Okay.
Cast spell lasts for an hour.
Yep.
If it drops,
I don't even think it lasts for an hour.
it says you cast the spell.
I don't think so. I think it just says you turn invisible. I shit you not.
Ring of
Oh, you turn invisible as an action.
Yep.
Damn, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, it just
That's
as
cool.
long as you don't break invisibility, you are just
You is my previous
Yes.
nat 20 stealth check for still in play, or do you want another one?
say so.
Okay, cool. Then
I thought it was.
take a peek. Look, try to.
Another stealth check to see how quietly you open this door itself.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
30. It's a bit annoying to open this door in a silent manner, mostly because the door is a little bit on the big side, it's a little bit on the heavy side, and there's also a very notable bit of creak to it. Almost like they did deliberately make it so that this door would not open silently, for very obvious reasons. But even so, doing it as slow as possible and trying to push through those little bits and moments where it does make those noises, you push through to open the door as silently as possible, which is aided by the fact that the moment you do manage to get that crack just enough for you to actually look inside, you instantly hear the sound of clanging metal against wood of some kind, and hearty laughter as well going on. As instantly, just taking a peek inside through the crack, you instantly see two dwarves very close to the opening of the doorway itself that are quite literally just hucking axes at each other's shields, which they have lovingly planted very meager targets upon them.
Okay. Are they saying anything interesting? I do speak Dwarvish.
Nothing of the sort right now. They seem to just be betting against each other if they can call their targets, because they both are very aware that they can hit the bullseye if they want to. But what they want to know is how accurate can they call their shots.
Okay.
And occasionally you would hear a third voice coming up outside of you from where you can crack open the door at the moment, where you can hear that somebody is commenting. almost like calling out when somebody's trying to skirt around, trying to be like, "Hey, you're off by a few inches. That's the win. Gotta give it to him."
I have a question. Kind of
Mhm.
funny. Are his blades like visible when he throws them?
I've said it before, but if you ever seen Doctor Strange, I've always thought about it as the mirror dimension weapons that like the villain uses, Cassius.
Oh, I've seen about.
So it's like
but-
it's visible, but if you weren't really looking for it, you just think it's a distortion in the air.
Okay.
No, I saw you. I saw you think about it. And no, he should not fuck with these dwarves right now.
You know how funny that would be, though?
It would be. I thought about it too, but it's a bad idea.
I think it's a great fucking idea.
No.
No, Jack, no.
Like, could you imagine
Look
the?
at him. Look at him. He's thinking about it now.
See, Jack, this is why we can't have nice things. This is why we can't do shit.
I
This is why we
mean,
don't
like,
talk.
legitimately, that's probably one of the better moments to do it. If you were to do something like that. 'Cause-
For that, if he throws it, that's considered an attack, and he becomes visible.
yeah,
Yes.
but he's also only looking through like a small piece of the door. He just has to tuck behind the door again.
Jesus, that's a
No,
terrible. That's
Dalmar,
so risky.
Dalmar,
Don't do it.
Dalmar, don't listen.
'Cause, I
to
mean-
him.
No,
Do
no, no.
If they don't
Dalmar?
see the door
Okay,
open,
okay.
they're not gonna see him.
Dalmar, I'm saying this as your friend.
Big
Do not even think about doing it.
red button.
By the way, I just realized.
This is just doing stupid shit to do stupid shit.
I just realized saying that what I just said about Doctor Strange, like, wait, isn't the main villain also called Cassius? It's
Yes, which is the guy-
Cassilius.
Okay, I was like, that's
Yeah.
the guy we're trying to rescue.
Yeah, I was like, their name is super close. Now that I just realized that, no, it's Cassilius. It's
Okay.
real fucking close, though.
So close.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my god.
Let's see if I can't open the door up enough to squeeze in.
Go ahead and give me a dexterity check. My Papa shoulder here. Well, let's see.
Papa shoulders sounds not good.
Sounds like what I did taking an accidental 2-hour nap on the couch.
Told you the
Oof.
couch is off limits.
I fell asleep. My husband let me sleep for 2 hours.
I'm
I
also
woke up-
I don't want
thinking.
to bother you.
I woke up and didn't know what day it was.
Oh. Maybe
Okay,
just
those
go
are
back
those,
up to the roof.
those naps hit
and-
the best though.
No, it was bad. I was so out of it.
Depends on the day and the mood.
Fair.
I'm honestly considering going up, slamming the trap door open, so that I can cause a ruckus and then get inside.
Like, part of me is like, okay, the trapdoor is basically alarmed, but part of me is also like, what if it's just a counterbalance to make sure that the trapdoor, like, closes on its own?
I mean, that's the thing, is that, again, Damar very much can notably say that it's not trapped by any means that would harm him. It's just, it seems like it's a mechanism tied to the trapdoor.
Yeah, so, like, part of me is like, it's an alarm, part of me is like, it's just a counterbalance to make sure the door shuts.
Yeah.
Again, why main building when somewhere off to the side?
Yeah, but how do we get into that somewhere off to the side building?
You have a wolf,
Sure.
she can dig.
I can turn into something with a burrow speed. Burrowing
I mean,
in-
sure, if you want to go dig around,
Well, I mean,
don't get caught.
Girl wants to be a dirt digger.
we
I was gonna say
gotta
gold digger, but it doesn't work.
right. We need
No,
to find
well,
out
let's-
what like direction they went. You'd have to do ascending again, so we actually have an idea of where he might be at because we can't locate.
So you said all the windows are closed.
Yep.
Okay. Let's go up to one of them. And either
Alright.
try to listen through through it or try to peek the window open a little. Also checking for traps.
Make me an investigation check. $31. The windows themselves are nothing too special, nothing too grandiose, and while being able to open them would not be the most difficult thing in the world, it's more annoying than anything. And when trying to listen through to hear anything, you wouldn't really hear much of anything coming from a vast majority of the windows. There are 3 in particular, though, 2 of which you would just hear quite heavy snoring, and 1 of which you would hear some sort of hacking noise coming from it.
Hacking like coughing or hacking like chopping wood?
Chopping.
Okay.
Does it sound like metal against wood or metal against flesh or?
Kind of hard to tell through a window, but at the very least, it does sound like it's intentional. It's not just someone fucking around. Someone's working on something.
There's the unmute button. Okay. Also, if I'm gonna have to keep turning the camera on and off, I may just keep it off this session.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Was there some that had snoring, and was there any of them that were just empty?
Yes, there's a very few set of that, but one corner in particular does seem to have a completely empty room of some kind.
Okay, we're gonna try to open up that window. Also, double checking traps, yada yada, being stealthy, yada yada.
Make an investigation check for the traps. $31 again. Easily enough to see that there is some sort of mechanism tied to it. The trap itself does not seem to be that harmful by any means, but it does seem like it does have a trigger to it. If you want to undo it, go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check. Once again, you're reminded of those days back in Dudeman, where complication is precisely the kinds of things that these dwarves do in a very meticulous manner. So much so that you're reminded things are a lot more complicated with the dwarves. That's a difficult bitch and a half to undo.
Was I successful?
Unfortunately not.
Ooh. Alright. We're gonna try that again.
Give it another shot.
Oh shit.
Trying to push your efforts and trying to shake off that relaxation
that we
that
just
you've had.
hear, oh shit. The comms.
Trying to shake off the oh, China knows you're here. The knowledge of how lackadaisical the rest of this world has been with traps, trying to get back in that Doomman mindset. You try to force your way through, and in that little bit of force, just put a little bit too much, and you hear this like go off. To which that's the mental trigger of, ah, shit, rings off in your mind.
Xal'Mel, what happened?
Unclear, but something didn't go quite right when disabling a trap.
That's
So
never good to hear.
Did I break a tool? Did I break the mechanism?
It seems you broke the mechanism.
Well, I mean, that's good, right?
Not
No, now it
necessarily.
means
I
the
mean,
window
that
won't
means-
open, period.
It also means he left a trace he was there. Shit.
Any way that I can sort of undo the damage or make it look like it was
Not
an
from this
accident
side.
or natural?
You would have to be on the inside to try and do that.
Yeah. Okay. Does the window open at all?
Still locked, unfortunately.
Hmm. Okay. Well, that's unusable. Okay. Unknown if anything happened, but definitely with traces. All right, moving on to the next. Going to the next empty window.
Which is not far. But as Dalmar's moving over to that next empty window, that's the moment that the rest of you are able to see as movement begins to stir upon the upper walkways of the building, as 4 individual dwarves with crossbows at the ready seem to now be heavily and intently searching around.
Shit.
Courtesy left the front door open.
I can draw their attention and pull away if we need.
No, it's okay.
He's invisible.
Not fair, but still it doesn't... Just nervous.
Now all the
Are you going to
giant
keep attempting this next
This
window?
reminds me like anytime the player plays a video game, like a stealth game, always try to be sneaky. It always goes well for the first half, maybe 3/4, and then I end up just
And then
shooting my way
something
out.
goes wrong.
Yeah.
That one random ass guard or that one random ass trap.
It's usually something.
It's still a stealth mission if there's no one alive to say that you were there.
Exactly! See,
This is
Ashton
like
gets it.
I bought the game on Steam when it was cheap, Mark of the Ninja, and then promptly never installed it because I'm like, what am I doing?
Oh, I've heard really good things about this one, actually. I just looked it up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good stealth game that
some
punishes you for
reason-
getting caught.
I like rogues, but oh man, does this stuff just like?
You like...
Then again, a lot of my roles in D&D in general for most of my characters mostly go wrong. So anyway,
I was about to say, you like rogues, but you can't roll above a 2.
I wish you were
That's what rogues are
exaggerating.
good for.
At least 5th edition rogues, yeah.
Until he makes a Luckomancer, in
Oh,
which case
God.
everyone is fucked.
Are you going to attempt
Right.
to open this window as well?
Yeah, we're gonna do an investigation just for a quick double check.
This one does indeed still have that mechanism linked to it. Not a trap, but something.
Slide a hand to disable. So the
Calming
digital
yourself.
dice it bounces on my screen, and the 13 is real damn close to that nat 1.
With
Yeah.
being alerted that there are now individual dwarves up top, and you can even hear the shuffling of feet and the sounds and cries of dwarves amongst one another to ask, "You see anything?" Got nothing. What about you? Nothing. Sure there's something out here? Aye. Ain't no other way about it. And as you use that time to both steady yourself and put yourself in that mentality to take this a lot more serious than even prior before, putting in that effort and that work, and putting the little bit of knowledge that you have from the 2 prior attempts to unlatch whatever slight mechanism this door or this window seems to have linked to it in a much slicker manner that you don't hear the snapping of a mechanism rather than the actual gentle slide of it. Go ahead and make a lockpicking check if you want to actually unlock the window.
Yeah. Um,
21. Enough, as the lock itself for the window is nothing truly complicated. Almost like it's meant to be a false sense of security to get inside so easily. But
mhm.
easily being able to unlatch whatever it is that the inner wooden walls of the window is to open up. Easy enough to slide the pane of glass to gently start pushing open that window. And with your passive perception, at the very least, you don't see anything within the room, which has these bits of fine velvet couches and a very extravagant carpet on the ground with a fireplace seemingly built inside for whatever interesting reason. Not lit, but still. And with that passive perception as well, you're able to hear that there's definitely a lot more rowdiness going on inside. Not of playfulness, but of actual awareness and active watch by the doors within.
Yeah, I definitely done goofed on this one. Yeah, that's okay. So before I step in, I'm gonna double check where I would land or step on.
Mhm.
Make sure there's no like pressure plates or like simple string attached to bells or something.
With your passive investigation, it is more than easy to see that, at least visibly on the ground, there does not seem to be any sort of active trap that would catch you in such a simple manner.
Sorry, one more time.
That with your passive investigation, easily able to glance upon the ground, just simple and easy. That there's not seem to be anything just at the very base of the window that would be any sort of trigger by any means.
Flip inside. As quietly as I can.
Do-do-do-do.
The Rouge is doing Rouge things.
This for you.
Hold it right.
Poo-doo-doo. Oh. No, don't do that. What are the other thing? Oh, stupid. Try and put you alone in here, but it doesn't want to let me do it.
Mm.
God damn it, you.
Well, you can move the rest of the party like
Show us all. We can see it. He's telling us all about it as he goes.
It makes you more stressed. It's a lot more fun that way.
Now all of China knows you're here.
Bottom of the bag of potato chips, and they're all just crumbs, and I'm sad.
Aw. Reminds me.
Where the
That
hell?
would be really bad.
What?
Because I'd get it everywhere.
Don't. Go slow.
Oops.
Man.
There we go. Christ.
If you would have just taken that shot, you know, we would have had one less work to do.
Let me go snag the Dalmar.
Hey, Dalmar, don't step on the fancy rug.
That's a good point.
Is there a fancy rug?
There is
Yeah.
a very fancy rug.
Where?
Upper left, here you go. Focus ping. Get your asses over there.
Thank you. I'm having a hell of a time.
Oh.
Excuse me. Where is
Hey.
the other thing?
I thought that was just the room itself. Was that square? Not the...
Real quick, guys, have I been muted?
Slightly.
No.
Probably.
Okay.
If you
If you're meaning like the last 5 or so minutes since you came back from snacks, yes.
yes.
Oh shit. Okay.
There we go. There's the
I was
Dalmar.
like asking questions and making jokes and stuff.
Nope.
No, you weren't muted. We're just ignoring the shit.
Yeah. I'm.
Was muted. Lo siento, homie.
This is the window.
Yes.
Okay.
To the window, to the wall.
The wall.
The wet drip down my stupid ass rug that's gonna smother Dalmar to death. Okay, would Dalmar know about like magic rugs that smother people to death?
Okay, we did, for the record, tell him about all of that. So yes, he would know.
I feel
about
like this
magic
was
rugs.
a joke that was at some point brought up. Yes.
No, the rug tried
The
to smother
player is-
Jack in Saramir's house.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's
that.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear about that.
We definitely told you about that. That
I
was right
imagine,
after
like,
you
as
joined
like-
the party.
Yeah, like
Okay.
a retelling of shit that happened. Yeah.
Yes, that was right after you
Right.
rejoined the party at my house, and I'm sure we told you all about the rug smothering and the shoe smuggling.
Okay.
We stole all of that poor man's shoes.
No, we didn't. Just one of each pair.
We gave
Fair.
back.
We did.
After he got rid of the other half of the collection.
That's fine.
But at the very least, at the moment, that room does not seem to have any sort of special traps or anything of the sort beyond the somewhat generically gaudy paintings on either side of the walls. And it's a little bit interesting, as just like in Dudeman, you've seen quality art. And while you don't exactly understand it, you at the very least know how to identify it. And that just seems like rush jobs. Seems like someone just worked to get that done and just to make something that at first glance is something of high-end quality, but in reality is just some jerk off with a paintbrush making it look fancy.
Somebody bought this shit at Ross and threw it on their wall.
No. This is a painter trying to upcharge a shitty painting he did.
Either that, or it's a particularly talented guard that they're just like, do it.
We're encouraging your hobbies.
Yes.
We encourage your hobbies here at the embassy.
You get 2 loaves of bread tomorrow. Yes.
Beautiful.
A birthday present from one of the fellow guards. He actually tried really hard on it.
And here we are judging the crap out of this shit.
They're doing their best. Okay, we shouldn't
This is
bully them
great.
too
So-
bad.
Any
And
hoozles. I've walked in a window and that's taken us an hour.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
No, like 45 minutes. We started
fine.
late.
It's still way too long. So, unless there's anything of particular interest, I'm going to try to get out of the room.
Door's not locked.
We'll probably
Are there any papers?
close the window behind me.
Okay. There are no papers in this room.
Okay. And then on to the next.
I realize it's hard to see that the door there.
Door?
There's a door.
Is this the door?
Yes.
Or is this the door?
No, it's bottom middle.
It's the center.
Yeah, there you go.
Touch the
okay.
rug.
It's a double door. There's no way to get around without touching the rug.
There isn't.
Play
You
the
play-
floor is lava
Yes.
and jump from couch to couch.
I was just about to say that,
Unless the
fuckers.
couches- Unless the couches are also enchanted.
Same brain cell, Jack. Same brain cell.
What is
My
this?
kid
Start of
loves-
campaign 3?
Hell yeah.
Actually, am I leaving muddy footprints behind.
I wouldn't say they're the cleanest, but at the very least, it also doesn't seem like they're that upkeeping in this place.
So it's not noticeable that someone came in.
Unless someone tried to fully investigate.
Okay, then. We should do an investigate and all the blah blah blah.
You make a magical vacuum cleaner. Suck up all the
Very
dirt.
good.
Magical Roomba.
Yep.
Faramir had those too. They attacked us.
23. No clear sign of any sort of trap whatsoever. But I will say in that time that you are making sure this door is not trapped by any means, with your passive perception, you are able to hear the faint chink of metal just outside the door.
That's
Oh,
not
we're-
great.
We're gonna be
Ow.
need to pull up the map. We're gonna go over here and just stay still as possible.
And invisible.
Oh wait, actually it would make too much noise just moving. So we're gonna go over here to this corner. Just stay silent, stay still.
As you go to the corner and you take that position just to wait to see when they come inside. They never do. Door doesn't open.
Is it locked?
No. When you investigated, there is no lock. There is no trap. Just definitely heard somebody out there.
All right. I will crack the door open.
Make me a sleight of hand check with disadvantage.
Like this. Having my. Goddamn.
It is faint and quiet as you creak open the door, but the slightest of range. And right outside the door itself, with shield and axe at the ready, you see a dwarf just standing there right outside. And if it wasn't for the noises of other dwarves calling each other out to make sure that no one has been spotted, no movement has been heard by any means whatsoever, he would have been focusing on that door and would have easily spotted you.
Mm-hmm. Nope. Quietly closing the door
Mm-hmm.
and GTFO this room through the window.
Okay.
Quietly as I can.
Slipping on out, and I imagine closing it from behind. Easily enough, as Damar slips out of the building. And a lot of you are still seeing the patrol up top, are still diligently searching and desperately trying to find the source of whatever it is that seems to have triggered them.
We'll go look back at the front door.
Okay.
I'm so stressed. I don't know what we're doing here. We're just hiding in the woods. Dalmar's off by himself.
Only good things happen when you operate alone. with
Yeah,
minimal
for sure.
problems and logistics
Definitely.
and- yeah, for sure.
So back at the front door, what are you doing?
What's its status?
Closed.
Mhm.
They definitely noticed that it was left open.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm gonna, quietly as I can, acrobatics my way to the roof.
Go ahead and make an acrobatics check.
Now I'm just thinking about all the fun things you could do while invisible.
Yeah,
It's a lot. 23.
Told me while he's training.
And making your way up top to the roof, using what bits and pieces of vinery and jutted out edges of stone you possibly can, to be met by the 4 patrolling dwarves up top that are still just going in shift, rotating around the building in proper military form.
I wish I had telekinesis right now. I would just slam the trap door open.
I have telekinesis.
It's actually what I want to do right now, but just to slam it open, but yeah.
I know we literally poked the hornet's nest, but why are we poking the hornet's nest?
I don't know, man.
Where you go, visible, and you walk out like you own the place. Like, what the fuck are you guys looking at? Get back to work, you jackasses.
How far away is the ground?
Roughly 40-something feet. It's a pretty tall building.
So if I teleport with my ability, I need to roll at least a 4. Okay. Don't know why. If I were to trip a dwarf, would it be considered an attack?
Unfortunately, so I believe.
Yeah.
Cause I believe there's literally an attack action that is tripping.
Yeah.
Well,
Unless you do it in some other means that isn't you yourself doing it.
Push the chair forward. Now, this is where you do that thing where you, like, pull it back last second before.
Dalmar could just hang out in this embassy and make them think that they have poltergeists or something.
That would be hilarious.
You know, you could have gone
I
to
think what I'm going to do is I'm going to slink down to the front door, unlock it, and... No. Don't do that. Don't do that. I was literally like,
I love...
F it. I'm just going to go to the front door and just literally just boot kick it open and just leave invisible.
I love the idea that how Jack said it's like, why are we still kicking the hornets? At this point, it's just a point of pride for Dalmar to keep fucking with these dwarves.
Actually, do you keep like relaying everything that's happening, or have you been like quiet?
Oh
this
yeah,
whole
of
time?
course.
Imagine he's been relaying.
long as
We
I'm
are
not
getting
working
a play-by-play.
physically. Yeah.
I like the idea that Ashen's literally stress eating a ration.
Yeah, for sure.
Where
I got snacks.
where do these dwarves keep coming out at?
You did not visibly see where they came out of. You just saw that they came from the roof and outwards, which easily enough, with Dalmar's information, you know that the hatch is behind the roof where you're facing. So you're facing the front, it's coming from the back.
And is supposedly the only entrance on the roof, so by elimination, that's where they're coming from.
I mean, you could try maybe getting inside and finding what tunnel leads to where our dude's at.
That's what I was trying to do.
Should have just gone through the front door instead of leaving it open.
Yeah, I should have. But I didn't want to risk the chance of moving the door again. It was too noisy to move. But I guess we're back to that then. I'm gonna try to... Alright, going back to the front door, investigate, unlock.
I wouldn't
Break
go to
it
the front
open.
door. They
Back
already
to that room then.
either the room or the hatch.
The hatch that's guarded by 4 guards.
They're patrolling, right? So they probably aren't near that hatch right now.
Oh yeah, fair.
There might be guards
How-
down below.
Outside or deeper in the building?
How big
Do we
is
know?
this building?
It's rather sizable. It is, give or take, just about 150 wide.
Okay, so it's not as small and square as I was imagining.
No, but it still also isn't like that massive by any means either.
Okay. So
Go to
yeah,
your
we're
local
just
high
gonna.
school.
Kinda a little bit on par. Yeah.
All right. Well then. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try for the hatch then.
Easily enough, and I imagine you're able to crawl your way along the edge, especially while invisible. Go ahead and just make me one stealth check, as every time the patrol comes on by, just to keep yourself silent on that ledge, hold your breath, and just not give them any sort of alertion that you are there. 35,
And
more
that's
than
another
enough.
35.
And that's also, ironically, no, nat 20. The nat 20 stealth keeps carrying through.
Mm-hmm.
But as you're able to make your way along that wall to the back edge of the building where you remember that being that hatch, as you see the hatch is closed, as the patrol is just walking across it every time they pass on by. Yes, Jack is. Because both these motherfuckers turned their cameras off.
Everyone levels up.
I turned
Sweet, I'll go do that right now.
I turned mine
No,
off so that way.
It's 100% down mark because it's fucking alphabetical. I wish you could turn that shit off.
So, still a little out of it. What did you say about the hatch? About
So the
getting
hatch
there?
is closed as the
Okay.
patrolway itself does go over the hatch. So they have it shut so that when they just walk on through, they don't have to open, close, open, close.
It is shut.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh wow,
Almost-
this is interesting. And ask a second
Almost
time.
like military dwarves have a protocol.
Would Volmir
Yeah.
know their protocol actually? Like, be able to guess to any degree?
I mean, beyond diligent and thorough and patient.
I mean, Kiwi strikes me as the type of place where they'd have multiple of essentially the same building with the same protocol, just different kind of locations. Could I
The only other
also-
issue being is that this is one of, at best, 3 embassies they have in total, and also not to mention that normally Keeley keeps things very well protected, but y'all approach this place and it seemed abandoned, which is already off the bat questionable.
weird?
See,
Okay, just
part of me is like, they already knew we were coming.
Possible.
figured I'd ask if Volmir could tell anything.
Mhm.
All right. Well,
Part of them on a scouting trip, whatever, with the dragon.
Oh, it's possible.
yeah, I'm just gonna try to slide it open and squeak in. Being
Make
quiet
me
the
a
whole time.
dexterity check to slide in the moment where the patrol is just barely around each of the corners. Like, this is going to be a fast action to try and get in and out.
Oh,
That was a 9 on the dice.
damn.
While you are able to, at the very least for yourself, be able to open and close that hatch as swiftly as possible, to just kind of, as soon as they're each around the corner, slide your way in, opening and shut. Whether or not that was the best of timing or not is hard to tell. What is a little bit more annoying is that getting inside itself, as you hear that grinding of mechanism once more, almost instantly as the hatch is closed, you instantly note that there was a ladder that would extend outward of the hatch in order for you to climb in and out of it, to which now it is simply retracted. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. 15. Just enough to get yourself caught on one of the ledges of the windows itself. As you're kind of just precariously perched atop there, holding yourself gripping on the walls like a cat that just got caught in the act. As you instantly hear and see that there's a dwarf just barely beneath the hatch itself that is now looking up at it in complete and utter confusion at hearing and seeing it open and shut so swiftly and quickly, but nothing seems to be there. As I'm going to go ahead and show you what you're looking at. As you're able to see the main foyer of this building, where you see a bunch of scrolls and papers are sitting atop a long desk behind what seems to be a counter of sorts. What seems to be the captain of these dwarves, at the very least the leader, seemed to be in far more armor than even the one with the shield. As even the one with the shield has a full plate, but doesn't seem to have pants or anything covering the head by any means, but does have at least a shield, while the captain seems to have basically full body armor at that extent. With your passive perception, you are also able to see that there are other dwarves that are just waiting around a corner, seemingly at attention, and they are looking towards their respective doorways to make sure that no one and nothing is coming through them.
Oh shit.
As well as you'd be able to look in here towards the front door, where there's a nice little pretty fountain and a very gaudy statue.
How many dwarves total are there?
From what you can see right now, there are 5.
And how many were on the roof?
There are 4.
4. So 9.
Sorry, 4. There's 4 that you can see right now.
So 8.
Well,
That's less than 2 dwarves per person, including Misha, so if shit hits the fan.
what we
It
can
sounds
see.
like the moment if shit hits the fan, I'm rolling a new character.
Yeah.
We're surprisingly close to rolling out Dalmar and rolling in Darthon. But
Oh no.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, we could use a cleric.
we could. That's why he's the
No!
backup character.
Don't off yourself just because we need a cleric.
We also need a fucking rogue.
Trying. Yeah.
I'm a rogue.
We need a better
Bullshit.
rogue. You do have your teleport.
Yeah.
While you are standing there, though, trying to think and puzzle through what the hell you're gonna do now at this point, you do hear that the dwarf at the center, the commander of sorts, does call out to his associates, calls him out to, "Get in close! There's an invisible folk here. The moment you see anything move, you take your hit." And you would see, as slightly at an angle from where you're at, you'd be able to just barely see the movement of another dwarf and another over here get closer. They're still protecting their respective doors, but you can still see that they did
Okay.
move over to the other
So-
side of their doorway.
Real quick, can I read any of the notifications or any of the paperwork from here?
Easily no with your passive perception, and interestingly enough, they are literally ipsum sorum. They are nothing but fluff.
This is all just a front.
I'm glad you said that second, Jake, because I have no fucking clue what ipsum sorum means.
Ipsum sorum is literally, it's I think like 3 sentences that are generic sentence-wise that are just fucking garbage that a lot of newspapers print in the paper, or a lot of movies and TV shows that make it look like it's actually filled out than it actually is.
Ashton's webcam's freaking out.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It doesn't like it when you don't have your face on cam, apparently. there anything you're doing in the meantime, Delmar? As you are literally just a cat on the wall, perched upon this window.
Right, I have to unmute the mic. Can I get back to the trapdoor or to the thing?
It is about 20 feet above you. And closed.
Okay, I'm gonna acrobatics my way up and GTFO.
Make an acrobatics check for me, which is going to be harder inside the building, which is a lot smoother. Yeah, pretty much.
Man, this ability.
It is haphazard, but 20 is enough to get you up to the top there. Go ahead and make me a strength check from the inside out.
This is going from fucking Pink Panther to fucking Benny Hill. Real quick. Yep.
You
What
try
Hill?
pushing, but the angle you got, it's not happening. It seems like the mechanism is meant for inside or outward inward, not inward outward.
Stop pushing on the pole door.
Yep. How did they react?
At the moment, they have not, as you have yet to make any sort of visible reaction of sort. 5 in strength is not even budging that door. You're literally just trying to push at it, but you're angled and you got nothing.
Pull the door.
Am I able to see this area here?
No, that is through a wall.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
I know it now. I didn't know that was what that was called.
Go from
What did I miss?
I
You're
didn't
going
hear
from
Jack
Pink
show.
Panther to the Benny Hill theme song.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Real fucking quick.
yep.
I'm going to try the strength check again. Hopefully be able to roll above a 5.
You will be starting to risk
Nope.
falling over. As I say that,
Oh no!
Teleport.
there is an instant that you try and go like, okay, I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna fucking ninja my way out of here. And as you go for the initial push, you instantly feel your hand slip from the wall. In that moment, like Wile E. Coyote, just fuck onto the ground at the floor of one of the dwarves.
Teleport before you hit the ground.
Can if you want to try. I'll give it for your reaction.
Teleport, yeah.
Teleportation, right?
Do I use the bead or do I try my teleportation? So, mechanics question. If I do the teleportation that would be natural to Dalmar in the moment, is that constituting an attack that would break invisibility?
I'm afraid so, because I believe you do need to throw the dagger, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was just you threw it. It wasn't actually.
I mean, it's not actually an attack, but it is a weapon throw.
Throw the blade in unoccupied.
Yeah, because it is a weapon throw.
Yeah, but it's not an attack.
Yeah, but in that definition, if you were to just throw an axe at a tree, that would not break invisibility, but if you threw it at a person, it would. There's a difference between tossing something and, like, actively having to throw it.
Teleport helm?
Oh, that's right, he has the helmet teleportation on him, doesn't
Yes,
he?
I already said that. Just use your helm.
Ash,
I
said
thought you were talking about the
teleport,
bead.
and-
I'll be full on honest. I was with
No,
Dahmer
just
on
use-
that.
Just use the helm of teleportation.
You have a special hat. Use the hat.
Oh my
Okay.
god, I said that like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, but my mind did the exact same thing KTK's did.
Yep,
I'm like,
yep.
I don't want to use
I
my
was-
beam right now.
I was with Dalmar on
He's
that.
got
I
3
thought you meant
versions
the
of
beam.
teleport, so like
We could use any of those. Just use the helmet.
Yeah, I'm just using the helmet and teleporting to camp, effectively, or the
Where
area
everyone
where the
was.
party was.
I imagine you were going outside of the embassy, essentially speaking.
Yes.
Yeah, the place where we're all chilling.
Just go ahead and make me roll me a D100, because basically you're only rolling for a mishap at this point.
Okay.
Where are you, teleport? I have you up. 80. Even with an 80, you're fine. As you are mid-falling, and you do see that the dwarf does look up in that moment as he hears that strange sound of some kind of grinding and a bulk of wood just ever so slightly hit. As you use the helm to focus what you have to teleport your way out of there. As the rest of you just, out of nowhere, in all of this tension and all this sound where he just says, I'm gonna try the door again. You hear poof, just right to your left, not even 5 feet away, as you see Dalmar face planting into the dirt outside of a teleportation.
Well, at least you're not dead.
So,
what did we
Dalmar,
learn?
knowing that the teleportation happened, sorry,
Yes.
was eating.
Yeah.
I was eating. Sorry.
Pause for dramatic effect.
I thought you were about to say he now believes in the realms.
Katie
Yeah,
drinking a
poison
Pepsi?
play.
No, it's gonna be one of those like Bugs Bunny cartoon moments. where
Unironically, Little Caesars doesn't have 2 liters for a Coke.
Oh,
They have
yeah,
Pepsi
yeah.
only.
So
I was
it's
big
gonna be
sad
a-
when I remembered that.
It's gonna
Continue.
be a Bugs Bunny moment where he just splats and then chooses to stay still, face down, and just thumbs up.
What did we learn?
Embassies are hard. Sorry, embassies are hard.
Probably not most of them.
Imagine
Julie's-
Jack just like picks him up like a kitten.
Just points his face to mine. Close the front door when you open it. Thumb down.
Fair.
Misha just comes
Prestidigitation
on
the
by,
mud
starts
off
licking
of
some of the dirt.
him.
Yeah, Misha starts licking some of the mud before you just prestidigitation it off.
Yeah.
But don't eat
Well.
the mud.
We went from having the, stealth and, opportunity to look around, but
Yeah. That was the Yep, I'm out of practice. Skills are sharp, but I'm out of practice.
I missed Lily. Fuck. I would have set my familiar in there.
But
Oh yeah.
as Howard is doing overview, at the very least, keeping you guys up to date of anything else that's going on, and with now the embassy in full alert, what's the plan?
I mean, we're back to square one, original plan. We gotta figure out.
You're actually on square -1 because they're actually looking.
Yeah, right. We don't have the element of surprise anymore. So, Volmer, you want to send him a message and ask what direction they went? How far? To get where he's at?
Would he know that? He just knows he's in a different. I'm still confused by the other building line.
He's underground. There's probably multiple tunnels and shit like that.
So, what exactly do you want to ask?
I mean, from the main embassy building, what direction did they go? We have some idea of where to maybe dig? And ask if it's the embassy on the border. He's at a whole fucking different embassy.
One of the other 2 embassies
I
Keely
thought he
has.
did say that he was at the embassy at the border. I thought he said
He
it was
did.
at
Oh,
this
he
one.
did? Okay. I
Yeah.
couldn't
He did
remember
say
that
at the
part.
border.
For sure thought he said he was at this one.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, he did say at the border.
Totally
He
missed
did.
that. He's at the wrong one.
Yeah. So essentially just asked, like, what direction
I
did
meant
they
at the
head?
border of the city, not the border of the country, you buffoons!
Like that?
I'm sorry. If
And
he
this
talked
is
to
the
us like
direction.
that, I'd be like, fine, buddy. You stay where you are.
Right?
You weren't saving me in the first place! What difference did you just make?
Well, maybe you weren't worth saving, you jackass.
Yeah, clearly. God damn.
Besides, this embassy's a lot more neat. Instead of a jackass wizard, it has fake papers. That means it probably is hiding something.
Yep.
Like fake dragons?
Like fake dragons.
Yep.
God, could you imagine the scandal if this got out?
Fake dragons? Yeah.
Keely attacking cities with fake dragons?
Turns into conspiracy theory, like all the birds are robots with surveillance.
Dude, all the dragons are fake! All of them!
Okay, but like a
They're
country,
fake in the Keeley Empire!
a country like making fake dragons to attack cities would actually be huge. Because isn't that what we think happened?
Yes.
That's 100% what happened.
Yes.
And that'd
They
be fucking
attacked a
huge.
city with a fake dragon to kidnap a wizard.
Hmm.
Like it sounds insane, but like
Got all the information. It doesn't.
He would respond with, "Not quite sure. I was discombobulated during my transportation, but it is deep enough to require some sort of ventilation. Intricate at that."
That we could work with.
meaning there has to be an exit vent somewhere near here.
Yes.
Question. What happens if you put poison spray into the ventilation shaft?
Everything dies? That's not
I was gonna say exactly what you think.
I mean, it is just a cantrip. But if I just pumped a bunch of poison
okay,
spray...
okay. I thought you were talking about like actual poison spray, not the cantrip. It
No.
would fade. It would fade after a distance.
Okay. Do I have...
Alright.
Also, we are
else I
not
can pump
gassing
in
our
there?
hostage.
Do we have
Let's not
ammonia
do
and
that.
bleach?
I have Victrolic Sphere.
Zach, we are not mustard gassing our hostage.
Just tell him to hold his breath. He'll be alright.
Hey! The Geneva Convention doesn't exist in this world because Geneva doesn't exist.
Hey, are either...
It's also
what I'm
only a
hearing-
war crime the second time.
What I'm hearing is hostage rescue the Russian way. Got it.
Okay. Do either of you guys have proficiency in alchemy?
I don't believe anybody does.
No.
And you wouldn't know how to
Proficient
make
in
that work.
dice sets?
Then you wouldn't know how to make that
It
work.
would literally just be the party just slamming 2 chemicals together and hoping for the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Does anyone know invisibility?
Points at Dalmar.
I do, but I don't have it prepared.
You didn't prepare invisibility for a stealth mission?
We've been over why Volmir doesn't use invisibility. We have been over this.
He's the fighter.
Still
And his
self-mission.
concentration. He's not a utility wizard. He's a combat wizard.
We're also trying to avoid combat.
Yep.
Okay.
I love the
Also,
idea that
how
Ash's
as like,
I love the
was
idea that
thinking,
Ash's
wouldn't it be
visibly
great
done,
to
and
just
it's like, can we get a replacement wizard? This one's defective.
It's fine.
like,
It's just
fireball from invisibility first? Like that'd be good.
no, because then you're revealed. It's just
Yeah, but you get the first stab.
Oh man. Okay, so
Place yourself perfectly for your steel wind strike to hit as many people as you want. Not to mention the first one you hit gets sneak attack because you're invisible.
Okay, so Volmer as a character, like, I feel like he'd see it as, and I feel like a dick for saying this, he'd see going invisible for the attack as kind of cowardly.
I was gonna say
Why did
he's
you
got the
take the
samurai
rifle
armor.
in Rogue then?
It's a samurai
Because
honor thing.
it was the joke.
Oh my
And
god.
like
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
Rogue's
plus
like
also
Rogue,
sneak attack just works in general when you have advantage. So there's a
It's
lot
fine.
of ways to do
It's
that
fine.
too.
It's
also,
fine. I am okay. This is
I
just
would
fine.
I would point out that not every rogue is sneaky bastard. There are some
Yes.
subclasses dedicated to being duelists.
Well, I mean, then there's also the berserker rogue, which I love.
Like
it's
I
just
actually I considered going another level in rogue for swashbuckler to go for that duelist kind of.
The
aesthetic
1v1
role.
damage is so
But
nice.
then I realized that would get rid of 9th level spells. Fuck that.
Yep. It's more
Which, like,
just that we are going into a stealth mission. Like,
Well, y'all want me to try to use wild magic to make us invisible? Because I could attempt, but I don't think it'd go very well.
Unironically, I think you have seen that one, I think.
I have. I was invisible
Yeah.
on the boat. That's how I tried to seduce Vivian, but she wasn't falling for it.
That's also how she pantsed Volmir.
That was fucking Jack. That was totally Jack.
No, that was you. That was
No,
you.
it was totally
No, I
Jack.
think it was Jack.
No, it was me, but like as far as Volmer knows, it was Jack. No, wait, I
Oh,
apologize
okay, I see what
for
you're
it.
saying,
Never
okay.
mind. He knows it was me.
You did apologize for it.
Yeah.
yeah, and
Alright, well,
we need
I'm gonna
to
go
be
back
able
to coloring my book.
Okay, nice. We'd also need an actual spell cast so we can upcast it to get more people. Okay, well, at this point in time, we then just have to try to rely on them not seeing us, since they're actually on the walls now.
I mean, we don't necessarily have to keep going for the main embassy. I imagine they'd try to hide the ventilation a little bit off, wouldn't they?
Yes, but they can still see us from the main embassy. Is the problem. That's so we're gonna have to probably
Yeah,
take a
they're all
wide
they're
berth.
all up on the roof now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're probably gonna need to take a wider berth and get out and around. Just so they don't see us. If we were to go like 1,000 feet off from the embassy, that'd be a little bit
Can
thicker.
we have what's his fuck accidentally create some sort of explosion with chemicals that shoots up like, I don't know, purple smoke or something through the ventilation shaft?
How would he do any of that?
I
He is
don't know.
chained
They've
up.
got him working down there doing stuff. See if he could create a flare.
And then get stabbed instantly.
We're not here to rescue him. We're just here to get the book that he has.
I'm glad the target of the mission is still known.
Yeah. Wow, that is like the most Canadian fucking way to look.
I mean, I don't. I.
Remember, the Geneva Convention was created because of the Canadians.
Canadians are great, okay?
They are, but they're scary.
Mm-hmm.
Another case. Making farther distance from the embassy to avoid sight. In order to start looking around the area to find as to where this bunkerish location is. What is the actual plan on trying to find this place?
I think probably just spread out. You know, kind of do the You know how the distance that they keep when they're all looking for like a missing child or someone in the woods?
Oh yeah, they're like 10 or 5 feet apart,
Mhm.
and they walk in
They're
lines.
sleeping, yeah.
Yeah.
We're just gonna probably sweep the whole area. We're gonna keep Dalmar the closest towards the embassy while invisible. Just because he's got the better eyes. So he'll notice if they notice us or if the funnel system is closer to the embassy than we are. And just spread through and try to find this fucking thing. Do a full circle around the embassy.
Everyone give me a perception check. Volmer at advantage, you want Howard to help you with this.
Perception.
Justice is blind.
I think that Ashrin is really fucking done with this whole goddamn thing. She wants to go deal with other shit right now.
Yep. Seems about right. As you each begin to just quite literally comb the desert for any sign of this bunker by whatsoever means, and especially going off of that notification of ventilation, there has to be some means whatsoever of air coming in and circulating through their little underground location. And while it does take some time, give or take 2 or so hours of just walking and combing, listening, sniffing, all sorts of details to which Jack and Ashrin very quickly are not of this kind of people. They are inside house folk. The nature is not exactly their strong suit. At the very least, Volmer and Dalmar with more inquisitive and detailed perspective, and
I
with Howard
also
as well right
imagine
there.
that, like, if we're
With
walking
my
in a
crowd.
line and Dalmar is closer to the embassy, I assume Jack and Ashrin are further out on that line because Jack is loud.
Yep.
Yeah, my brain goes. The line is Damar, Volmir, Ashrin, Jack.
Yeah.
Misha.
But we've got Misha in there too.
Misha's in front of Jack.
I imagine Misha was just like darting around everywhere because she wolf.
Yeah.
ADD brain.
Yeah.
And eventually, though, both with the hearing of Dalmar, the sense of Misha, and Howard giving you a good heads up with Volmer's own eyesight, at a notable, not exactly strange patch of moss, but one that definitely doesn't fit in with a lot of the topography. Like, they did their best to hide it, but even then, if you were notable enough, visually impaired, or not visually impaired by any means, you were able to notice that definitely seems deliberately placed in some way.
They used
To which
the
easily
wrong
not being able to
camo.
round each other up towards this rather sizable patch of moss and able to uncover a metal grating in the ground that's about just over dwarf in size.
Around?
Square.
Okay. Dwarves are wide,
Rectangular.
right?
Hmm?
Dwarves are wide, right?
I would think
4
so,
foot?
yeah.
Yeah.
Short with doubt.
Yeah, they're short, but they're broad-shouldered.
So
Yeah.
like Jack should be able to fit in the hole, right?
Give me a tight squeeze, but yes. Armor be
Jack
bulky.
gets stuck. If Jack gets stuck halfway through that hole, Volmir is never letting him hear the end of it. He is holding that over his head for so fucking long.
But, in either case, having found this
Wait.
grating, what's the plan?
Should we just send a couple people in? Should we all go in? Should some of us stay here and guard the hole? And
Oh, don't worry, I got this.
oh god,
I think
Here we go
Damar and
again.
I think Damar and I take point. You two wait up here with Misha. If something goes south or if something goes wrong, you two can either drop down or we'll get out of there.
okay. And we still have comms up, correct?
hmm
And that'll work no matter how far apart we are.
Yes. It's nearing its end, but it is still up.
I would honestly say just send Dalmar down there again. Because we don't know what the guard situation is down there. If there are dwarves, they see Ulmer, that's going to be an issue.
That's true.
And someone has message?
I do.
I have message, but I don't have sending.
Yeah. His message
I
has
believe
a...
I have both.
Yeah, message
Yeah,
as
I
long
have
as it's the
both.
general direction and within 120 feet, you can still contact.
The issue with message is that you do have to whisper the message,
Whisper.
so it's
Mhm.
audible.
The thing is, though, is that you can whisper to them, but they don't have to respond if they don't want to.
No.
So, at the very least, you can ask for updates. Maybe you won't receive them, but
But we have... The comms were up for 5 hours.
yes, it's still up.
How long do we have left on that?
Probably like an hour. You got time.
Ugh. Dalmar was fucking around for 4 hours?
No, I imagine you guys did that a little bit earlier, and meanwhile, while Dalmar was searching around in all these little cases, and then now combing the fucking forest. Or grasslands, I guess, more accurately.
Okay, fair
I'm
enough.
just gonna re-up.
Okay.
Just gonna
Reestablish 5 more hours. Easily
Okay.
enough.
That makes me feel better.
There you go.
So, I would say Dalmar just go first. See if there's any guards, see what the patrol situation is looking like down there.
Yep.
If it's not bad or not at all, then Volmer goes with. And then use message to kind of pinpoint wherever he's at. Work from there.
Why do we need to use message?
So you know what
General
to go.
direction.
Yeah, because if they have a ventilation system, it's probably not just for him by himself. There's probably a lot more tunnels and hidden rooms.
Oh, so like point in different directions and try to
Yeah, pinpoint
figure out
to
which
get.
way he is.
Yes.
That'll only work if you're 120 feet.
Yes. It is better than Dalmar's, though, because Dalmar needs to be within 30 feet and have them in line of sight if he wants to one-on-one comms.
Oh, okay.
How far
But
away
Volmer
from
has-
the embassy are we?
You guys are just about, I would say about like 1,300 feet, give or take.
Okay.
Volmer has message then?
Yes, I have both message and sending.
Okay, perfect.
So,
Dalmar goes
who's getting
first.
who's getting the grate open? And or
I can.
how?
I can. Jack and I
Checking
together
if
can
it's
probably do
trapped.
it, can't we? That's probably important. Also, I'm gonna check for magic traps.
Investigation or Arcana? I
Oh
feel like
my god. Dalmar's just done.
it's not so much as Dalmar's done as much as he's now kind of like, boy, this is so far off. Why would they really put that intricate of a trap on here? And especially looking over this with how his mentality goes like, Dudeman has like super advanced traps. If there's not something like that on this, it's clean. It's fine. As far as you can tell, there's no magic upon it either.
I want to check for normal traps, but that feels like metagaming, so...
But, Volmer, you said you're going to open the grating?
I should be able to just brute force it, shouldn't I?
If you want to strength check it.
I'll help him.
Strength check with advantage. Jack providing
That's
very
right.
little help.
I forgot Volmer's leg. Perfect now.
Yep.
Yep. Got the perfect
Ugh,
body, baby.
I hate it.
With
I
the both
want
of you
this so
easily enough so, and with Volmer putting more effort on his side to lift his side of the grate first before Jack does, and aiding in that effort still nonetheless, as the both of you are able to quite literally tear it from its bearings and screws, as you hear the uncomfortable grinding sound of bending metal, and easily just able to toss it aside casually as you so please.
Yeah, brute force wasn't really quiet, guys.
Yeah, I probably should have thought of that there. It's...
I didn't think we were tearing it up. I thought there was hinges or something to open it up.
Yeah,
Nope.
that's what I thought too.
Nope.
Okay. It's cool being strong now, at least.
God, I wish someone knew the silent spell.
So Dalmar is the first to crawl in, and after that, Volmer.
Invisible.
Is there
Okay.
actually like a ladder to go down this thing, or is
There
it
is not.
Hmm.
I can fly. Dalmar. I think I have to go with Dalmar. Because there's no way for him to silently slide down, but I can fly.
I can acrobatics my way down.
Acrobatics just slide his way up the sides.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair.
Until he
Yeah.
nat ones again.
Yeah, that's what I was
Not a nat 1. What'd you get?
20.
Oh, 10. Okay, you did get the 10. Okay. Easily enough, as Delmar and Volmar begin to make their way inside. Volmar, go ahead and make me an acrobatics check yourself.
I'm just gonna use my boots.
Okay, just
'Cause they don't make
fluttering
noise.
your way down.
They don't make noise, do they?
I would say like wind flap, but even then, that's like pretty damn quiet.
Also, weren't we gonna wait a bit for before I go in too? Just have Dalmar look and then I go down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna do that when it's time, but we're waiting right now.
Delmar crawling his way through the ventilation shaft, and it is a long distance.
Be invisible.
He is invisible.
Okay, just making sure.
Very first thing he called out is to go invisible. But it does take time. You do not hear from Dalmar and his mental comms of notification that he has arrived at any sort of destination. It's got a lot of raises and falls, raise and fall, just straight lines. Until eventually, after about 20 or so minutes of just straight crawling in that claustrophobic duct of it, he does reach the end, where you do seem to be exiting out at one of the great many cells that you can see in this underground location. And it does seem to be nothing more than a jail cell of sorts, as you see several lines of cells that are, at the very most part, empty for the time being. From your angle, you'd be able to see, just barely off to the right side, just a bit of an angle off, two dwarves standing at attention at either side of a gated door, where you do hear several pieces of shuffling paper and all sorts of movement going on further down.
You know, Dalmar just needs to get to the guy and then teleport out.
Yep.
That's all he needs.
Also, that would have been the worst fucking nat one ever, because just, yeah, splat! Yeah, splat!
That's kind of what I was worried about.
Splat.
That's why I was like, shouldn't Volmir, like... I can carry you.
Oh my god, just... It's like Peter Griffin falling off and shit, just...
The fucking
whack.
stairs.
And then, one more, whack! One more, whack.
But
Oh, tidote.
Actually, yeah, you only need to be able to... If that door has a window at all, into his thing, you could teleport with your psionics into that room, grab him, and teleport out.
Yeah.
That person that you teleport with just needs to be within 10 feet of you, right?
yes.
So you could teleport with him while he's inside the cell. Unless there's some sort of anti-magic shit.
In which case, we're
Send a missive to him, see if he's under anti-magic at all.
Number one,
Well,
you
when-
scrat on him,
when-
and number two, you have sent sendings.
I
Yeah,
was
so
about to say, when-
theoretically,
fair.
it should just be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless they, like, locked him down because they think someone's here.
would make sense.
But
So,
realistically, if
right.
someone's messing with the embassy, it's just a rogue trying to grab some gold. Would probably be their first thought. Anyway.
Nope, never mind.
Oh,
Misha had a thought. That thought's not gonna work in her head.
Misha had a thought, and then she had to try to chase the brain cell.
Yeah, literally.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm just curious, what was the thought?
It'd be a bit metagamey to say it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
If they're
I thought
head empty, no thoughts.
Yeah, kinda. It's like a moment where she's like, "I could be useful." Would that work though? Would that? Would
I
it?
thought it was like
Oh, look, a stick.
Misha had a thought, not like an actual Misha had a thought.
No, Misha had a thought, but she's not
Yes.
smart enough to figure it out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, I think I know
thought
where
it was
you're
like a
going.
meme thought, though.
I think I know where you're going with.
Yeah, because
Misha's
Misha
thought.
wants to make herself useful. It's just that she has very little room to be useful in a lot of cases. This one, she's like, I could be useful here. Would that be useful? Would that? Oh, look, a butterfly.
Oh god, she's taking after Fen.
A stick.
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
Flower crowns.
Okay, so I see 2 guards on post.
Mm-hmm.
And do I see anything beyond them?
Unfortunately, the angle that you're at, you just barely can't see inside. Or the reason what you can see inside is like the far corner of the room in a disgusting angle.
Okay, then try to get a better vantage point.
You are in a ventilation shaft, my friend.
Did you just
So
keep
I'm
crawling through?
looking down.
This is where that ventilation ends.
Wait,
Okay.
so there's
Oh,
one
so there's-
ventilation shaft for the entire.
If he looks across, you can easily see there's another ventilation shaft in the other cell as well. But he's not connected to it.
Okay.
Wait,
All right, so
hold up.
if I jump, so then if I
Jack's having a brain blast.
There's a ventilation shaft. There's one directly across. Can he see like farther to his right and left at all? Else?
Go room-wise, yes.
Does he see more ventilation shafts like off to the sides?
Every, like, 4 or so cells, give or take, with what little angle he has like about 10 or so cells that he can kind of see in diagonal. It's like maybe like every 4 or so cells.
Can we up top look around for another ventilation shaft in the direction of the guy's room?
Could try.
I will assist
Okay.
someone besides me in finding this
I
thing.
will. I will look for one. Would it be investigation or?
Investigation, perception, or nature of your choice.
And Jack's helping, so I get advantage.
Yep. 8. And using what directions you have in that instance to make yourself give a general direction of where to look. And while it does still take some time once again, as Dalmar's kind of just sitting there, literally in a metal hotbox of a vent, just trying to keep an eye out on what's going on and whatnot, and just continue to hear the shuffling and this noise coming from that singular cell with the 2 guards. Eventually, you are able to find 2 additional ventilation shafts of sorts. Each of them hidden in their own manner as well. One of them seems like a bit of a fallen over tree that's just barely covering it enough that if you weren't looking directly for it, you would not have noticed anything of the sort. While another one being one that's just simply looks like it was covered by not exactly a bird's nest, but some kind of creature's nest of some kind that, once again, when looking far closer upon it, is not a proper animal nest of sorts. It's definitely handcrafted to look in that sort of visage. Nothing a druid would be happy with, essentially speaking. But hopefully speaking, that second one, as far as Damar can accentuate and you guys can ascertain, seems to be the closest question mark that you're going to get to him.
Rama, do you think you can get out of there without a teleport?
yeah,
Okay,
I'll
but
start climbing my way up.
I'd make an acrobatics
Prioritize
check for me real
not-
quick.
I was going to say, prioritize not getting caught over not using a teleport. I will say that.
I would say maybe you fly down and get him?
Yeah, you could do that.
That-
Could you do that? That sounds safer.
Yes, I will do that. That sounds much safer.
Today's Dalmar's day of 10s, apparently.
Yeah.
That was a 4.
Well-
Oh, it was a 4.
Oh God.
I didn't think you had expertise on it. Oh, yeah, of course you do. It's a plus 10. I'm dumb.
Yeah,
This is
regretting
why
not
I
doing that.
always have been frustrated and have been arguing for acrobatics whenever you're like, I need an athletics check. Yeah, but can I acrobatics it? No, athletics check. Well, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in making his way there, and then Volmer meeting halfway to make even less noise and make this even faster in travel, cutting that in half very easily so, to pull Dalmar out from the ventilation shaft with ease. Quite literally, with a 20 in strength, literally just needs one hand to just huff him by the scruff.
Yeah.
Being strong is fun. Anyway.
Going to the further ventilation shaft, and just like the other one, has no clear means of how to open it excessively.
Ashrin, do you have acid splash?
No.
Damal, was it metal on all sides when you got underground?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have any spells that could silently remove this, is the issue.
There's a reason why Jack was always trying to find something that had silence.
Yeah, because he wanted to fuck Ashrin in silence. Anyway.
And that was one reason, but
I guess time to brute force it again?
Strength check with advantage, if that's the case.
Any other ideas? If not,
We still have these marvelous pigments.
oh,
You do have marvelous
yeah.
pigments.
what are those again?
Make a drawing, it becomes real.
I have 2 pots.
Oh.
I could paint
Mold earth down, or dig down, paint a hole in the side. Question mark?
I was
Like
just gonna
Looney
paint
Tunes?
like I was just gonna paint like holes or like rust so that you didn't have to pull as hard so it wouldn't be as loud.
Well, what you do is you just paint the other side of what these things would have been through, and it'd just be a hole at that point in time, and you can go through. And then when you get down below, if it's actually his cell, because I'm guessing there was like bars at the bottom of the ventilation shaft.
Yes.
You do the same thing over there, and then again, it just becomes a hole.
It's a literal draw your own portal.
Yeah.
We're Looney Tunesing this. Looney
Yes.
Tunesing.
Yes.
Yes,
100%.
Yeah.
literally Wile E. Coyoteing this, yes.
Yeah.
God, this is.
It's fucking amazing.
Or, Ash, if you'd prefer, we can do the rest idea. That's just where my brain went. Because I feel like that would eat up. More
I mean,
of
if
the
you
paint
want to
than it
do
would
the Looney Tunes, I don't know. It's either
It would eat
whatever.
more paint, and it's your item, so I'm not gonna like say that. But I'm not opposed to just rusting it and tearing it off, or just tearing it off straight.
The more we tear off metal, the more chances they are going to hear us.
Yeah.
That's why I say we just go straight for the hole on both ends. No pun intended.
Okay. Okay.
God damn it, Jack.
I was gonna let it slide. I was gonna.
Okay, back.
So Damar, we're talking plans.
Yeah.
You know Looney Tunes when they like paint
Yeah, I was there
Drawing
for all
out-
but the
yeah.
last
Yep.
45 seconds of it.
So,
Okay.
is the plan to rip off the covering once again, or are we going to Looney Tunes this shit?
You know what?
We
Let's
should
Looney
do
Tunes this shit. Let's do it.
You
Fuck
should
yeah.
totally Looney Tunes it.
Okay.
I guess we're using Mage Hand too properly.
What?
Well, the question is,
Mm.
what is the painting? Like, I'm not in super detail. There's a general idea, so I understand what's going on.
You paint each of the bars from each end to each end to look like what it is underneath it.
Yeah. So I'm just basically
Oh,
making the
that's
bars
okay.
disappear.
It is the idea I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not what I was. That works.
Go and
That's
just
even
give me a
better than I
dexterity
thought.
check.
Okay.
I mean, if it's
Not a hard DC, just curious. If this is like a child's drawing. It does literally the DC.
Can I help?
Sure, why not? The moment that Action like finishes the first bar and it looks like that crude like crayon drawing of a vent. Much better with the aid of Volmer helping with the rest of it. And while it does still work as intended, it just looks nicer in detail to have that occur.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. When you said met the DC, I thought you meant like it failed, but it was like right there. I was like, oh shit.
No. It was right there. Yeah, it was right there. But easily enough, after waiting the minute or so time, which by the way, I would say mark off 3 square feet worth of ink, because unfortunately you do have to keep track of how much that shit has.
Yeah. Okay.
So just in notes, just say 3 feet used.
Which I think we have like 1,000 or something like that.
It's like 1,000 per bottle or something like that. Yeah.
It is 1,000 square feet per pot, and we have
Yep.
2 pots.
So
Yeah. We Gucci.
not much is used, but eventually, slowly but surely, you'll eventually hit 2,000.
Such a cool fucking magic item.
Oh, it's a great one.
It is.
It's better with artsy characters, but even then, it's still fucking amazing.
Better with Jester.
It's so
Yeah,
Drawing
goddamn.
dicks everywhere.
Oh my
We are
god! And then the fucking permanent glue. Oh my god!
Yeah.
What?
There was a whole ceremony. She literally was supporting a fake cult that kind of turned into a real one, and one of the things was to throw a literal dick into a volcano.
They had a dick scavenger hunt,
Mhm.
and then the person who found the golden dick got to throw it into the volcano.
But they covered the golden dick
They covered the golden dick
the-
in permanent glue.
in the permanent glue. I forget what the name is.
Yeah.
So that when the person grabbed it,
Fucking
it would just
funny
be
as shit, dude.
Yeah, and like
stuck.
the only way to get rid of this glue is you need to have a very specific
Universal
special
solvent.
solvent.
Yeah, it's universal
Yeah.
solvent or wish.
Or
Yeah.
wish.
Sovereign-
Yeah.
It's
Sovereign
sovereign glue
glue.
and universal.
Sovereign glue. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yes.
So
I always
fucked
forget
up.
the fucking name, but yeah, it was a fucking hilarious moment. But
Oh, that's terrible.
after the minute, being able to just reach your hand down and instantly see that the grating is no longer there, but air and duct.
Okay.
Yama, need a lift?
Would be nice. Maybe halfway down, or
You guys want to
three-
take a pot of this glue, this paint with you?
Oh yeah,
Glue.
Yeah.
that would be
Got
great.
distracted talking about glue. Yeah, just take a pot and a brush with you.
Okay.
Easily
So,
enough to do
Dama-
so.
I'm
As-
gonna leave it
I
on your
guess-
character sheet, but it'll,
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, easily enough, yeah. As Volmer aids in quite literally fairy flittering Dalmar down into the vents. For the most part, until the
Before-
halfway point.
Yeah.
Which at that point, go ahead and make your acrobatics check.
Yeah.
At the very least, the DC will be lower since you only have half the distance to make. That's the moment that you get pro. Easily enough to do so as you are making your way to the end of the grate, where you're able to see that while you are not in the cell with Cassius, you are but a singular cell off, where you're able to see that his, unlike many of the other ones, are larger in scope, where either they have adjusted it or by some means they had a larger cell already prepared for him one way or another. We do see the table and odd bits of wizardry tools for him to work with his notes as well as the 2 dwarves still just standing at attention. You're essentially just like right off to the side of where his cell is.
How far away is he?
Depending on his movement within the cell itself, he's between 10 to like 30 feet.
You just need to get within 10 feet of him and have him to be willing to teleport. So if Volmer goes down there, sends a message to him.
Oh, I was just gonna send sending and say, grab your notes, go to the bars, and be ready to teleport.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, that works.
Grab what you want and get to the bars.
Get as close to the ventilation shaft as you can.
Yeah.
No, to the bars, because he's in a different vent system.
What?
He is, but he's close enough.
Oh.
The helmet teleportation is a 10-foot range, as long as the person's willing.
Okay.
As long as he gets like right up against those bars, he's within that 10 foot.
Hopefully this works. We gotta be ready to fucking ditch though.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 21. Is that good? Any objections?
Yes.
And while this is happening, Volmir's probably flying out.
You would get a response
Probably
yourself.
You probably want to wait until after you get out to cast that.
Easily
Yeah.
enough, yeah. You would get a response that simply says, "Wait for my signal."
I'm gonna say, in mental comms to Dalmar, he apparently has a signal that you should be waiting for.
Understood.
To which almost instantly after, you would see him go up to the bars where the two dwarves are. Not right up to them, but just enough to speak with them. And goes like, "I need more paper. I'm running out. And while you're at it, mind giving me my meal early. I'm getting a bit peckish." You kind of instantly see the two dwarves kind of look at each other, before they kind of just shrug, almost like they just really are lackadaisical about a lot of things here. And they both start to just make their way off. To which almost instantly, as soon as you hear the footsteps fade into that little bit of distance, that you start to see him scrounging about and grabbing a ton of his paperwork that he has there and tearing up several bits of other pieces before you eventually see him like pocket as much as he can into whatever robage he has on him before he looks at the vent, leans up against it,
Make sure he has
and
the
just
notebook.
knocks.
I assume the notebook was in there, right?
He seems to have grabbed several.
Okay.
Like about 5 or so that he had on him.
So he put everything in his robes, and then what? Sorry.
Then he
He's up against
leans
the
up
bars.
against the bars where he sees the ventilation shaft and he just knocks on the metal.
Okay. Then I'm gonna do my psychic teleportation.
You don't
Yeah.
need to. Just use
can
the
use-
helm.
You are within range to just use the helm. Helm has 10 foot of range.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I was envisioning the vent to be like across the hall, but all right, then yeah, just pop
No,
out.
it's right beside. It's literally right beside the cell he's in.
Sweet.
Use the
Yeah.
helm with him. Just teleport
Yes.
back
Yep.
out to us.
Go ahead and
Yeah,
roll me the
okay, give me
D100
that
just
then.
to make sure no mishap happens.
And then after this, we just teleport straight back to the city, right?
If you want to. Oh!
Ah! Oh shit!
Time
It's-
for a mission.
Kind of good that he sent the guards away and got ready
Oh,
as quickly
shit.
as he did. As you go for the teleportation that instance, as you unfortunately are not that familiar with magic in a lot of sorts of this ways, and trying to teleport him out of the cell and you outside, kind of gets a little bit of a mixed message there as you're in the cell and he's in the vents. To which
Okay,
you instantly
so-
hear like a low whisper kind of goes, "That wasn't the plan."
Let's
Try
go
again.
Just do it again.
I
Just do it
have-
again.
4.
Yeah.
You have
You
one
have one more
more.
charge.
You have one more.
charge.
All right, doing it.
Don't
Go ahead and roll the
one.
D100.
This is literally the ultimate don't roll a 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
45. As you instantly take the time to focus once again, almost about at the same time you start hearing the footsteps returning, as you poof, force and you feel the air sucked out of you in that similar form of teleportation, to which both of you appear in the outside world. Not with the party.
Ah shit.
Still have mental
Okay.
comms
Okay,
up at least.
Where are you?
Outside somewhere. I will describe the immediate natural environment.
Same as
Howard
what you guys
Fire.
have.
Howard is flying around and like we're frantically searching for him.
And we are
check for
getting the
Howard.
fuck away from this embassy as far as we can.
Yep.
As quick as we can. As quietly as we can.
Perception check for Howard.
To which even Kasai is kind of like just pats you on the shoulder. Dalmar kind of points in a direction and goes, "To home," and he just starts moving his way.
Yep.
And with enough time and enough bit of mental comms communication and Howard flying over, even with the 14, it is still enough to eventually see the visage of a somewhat more ruggedly aged wizard folk in decrepit robes that have long since been needed to be washed, and Dalmar walking alongside them as they're just puffing their way through the grasslands between as much tree foliage as they possibly can get to get coverage from wherever the embassy is. As they seem to be walking into the setting sun, just trying to see where in the world, what direction they could be going. But with enough time and enough distance being covered, it's not that hard for the party to reconvene all together, quite a distance off of the embassy. And you would see that there was an immediate reaction from Kasai. It's almost like he went to cast a cantrip. But there's almost a recognition that none of you are dwarves by any means. And instantly kind of relaxes that palm. I take it you're my rescuers.
My voice familiar enough for you?
None the slightest.
I was the one. You know what? Never mind.
Yeah, it's called sarcasm. Sorry, I forget the elven folk don't have all sense of humors.
Laura
Oh,
sent
you
us
racist
to
fuck.
find you.
Okay.
And while I do say that I'm a bit upset to lose my spell book, I am still grateful to be out of that damn dungeon.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this or not, but they did burn your house and the whole town down.
Yeah, I walked through my own rubble.
What happened? Do you know exactly?
Oh, that depends on how much you'll believe from an old coot.
I'm guessing it looked like a dragon.
Looked and flew like one.
It probably wasn't one, yeah.
That depends on your definition of what is and isn't a dragon.
Well, we've seen real dragons.
You'd be hard-pressed to say it wasn't real then.
Did you get in close proximity to it?
Absolutely not. Why would I ever approach something like that? I gave it one attempt, and when I saw that that was no dragon, well, I made preparations. Then the dwarves arrived. How they knew exactly about where I was able to be discovered, I don't know. My one and only thought is that I have a snitch. Very few individuals know of my location.
What were they having you do?
I've never known the dwarves to be of intrigue in the astral plane, but it seems like, out of nowhere, they seem to have a strong one. But what they're mostly interested about is the astral shard that I worked to create some years ago. Well, decades ago, I suppose you say.
That's destroyed.
The one that Lur had?
Given the two pieces of information that just came out of both of your mouths, I'm gonna take that something happened to it and that it is no longer in troublesome hands.
No, it's broken.
That's better. But I'm supposing that's also the reason why that old coot is now searching me out, isn't it?
He said he lent you a notebook years and years ago.
With our joint studies, yes.
He sent us to retreat. Thus finding you were captured and imprisoned, we set out to rescue you.
Well, it only took about a month or so for anybody to notice my disappearance, so that's good to know.
Well, you're welcome.
Aye, thank you. The notebook in question isn't here, but I can get you it easily if you can get me back to my smoldering remains that is a home.
Was it in your hidden bunker cellar?
Of course not. Don't keep your secrets with a secret. Keep your secret a secret.
Well, we can get you back there. Then hopefully
have?
by then we can.
This conversation is all happening as we're leaving at a decently
yeah.
high rate of speed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're speed walking champions at this point in time.
yeah, walking and
Yes.
talking, walking and talking.
Yeah, no. Once we get you there, is there somewhere you'd like to go?
Visit an old colleague.
Back to Lur.
I'm glad someone has intelligence.
I'm still worried that they might try to come find you again, but
Oh, they will. But under the jurisdiction of someone actually politically powered, they'd have no way to get to me. Not to mention to have them reveal their little secret weapon of theirs.
yeah,
If there's anything you know about the dwarves, they don't want to show their hands too early. They'll show a force, but until they show that force, they want their weapon perfect.
was it some kind of mechanical flying machine?
Aye. And not a friendly one at that.
Was it illusioned to look like a dragon, or did it actually look like one? Do you know?
Hard to tell. I gave my one attempt, and I knew my little village was ash. But what I do know is that whatever it was, it's well beyond the dwarven craft. In fact, beyond any craft of the current age.
Unless the most prominent tinkerer families in the whole world were working on it in secret.
Have fun making any of them work together.
Oh,
Greedy
no,
bunch, a lot of them.
not together, just on their own
Really?
individual projects. We already know that the Keeley Empire commissioned.
I'd like to ask if you think you can get past tinkerers that they're making a dragon's tail or a dragon's head without any sort of questions being arisen there.
I mean, it's the Keeley Empire. Ask questions and you die, or
Yep.
do the work and get paid.
That sounds like Keely.
I'd rather believe that no one in this realm should have that kind of ability to craft. I would hope so.
But
So,
Yeah, no.
what would you believe crafted it then?
Age of Chaos. Prior to the spell plague. Lost
think-
within the divergence.
So you believe rather than it being a new age invention, it's a
Oh, what was
recreation
that?
or rehabilitation of a lost art.
Indeed.
That technologically advanced island off in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
What?
where we found
Oh,
the
we're not in
bowstring.
Faerun. We're not in Faerun.
Oh,
Yeah, not there.
yeah, I know you're talking about Faerun, but we're talking-
Ilasonia? Is that right?
Elasonia was known to be a military powerhouse, yes.
Yeah.
yeah, they were.
That was the
Viral?
island.
But in most cases, stories tied to that was not via mechanical or automaton.
Okay.
They were just by
Okay,
military and or magical might.
I know this is a hell of a gamble. Can I roll to see if I can think of anything matching this description throughout history?
Make a history check.
God, this would have been perfect for old Jack.
Yep.
That'd been his
Even with a
wheelhouse.
19, there are several old age civilizations that have been believed to have either far advanced magics or far advanced automations of some kind. And I mean, even then, the Warforge exists because of old age magic in some way, shape, or form. Something of which almost no one in this day and age understands entirely. The only thing I understand is that somehow, in some way, they were granted a soul, or maybe they developed a soul. And it's that question mark that continues to plague them, that someone created these at some point in time, which means that they have still yet to even reach that old age worth of magic.
I'm wondering if this was something that they recently found. Have there been any like reports in the last few months? Well, prior to the last like 2 months or so, of there being dragon sightings in the Keeley Empire?
Nope. Very avidly aware that the sightings of dragons have basically petered out to nothingness in the past 30 years.
Yeah.
And at the very least, when it comes to Keeley, not that much information comes out of Keeley. It's not information they don't want to come out of there, but a dragon sighting would be pretty big news to spread around if it were real.
I was wondering if Cassius had heard anything.
I don't keep up to date with much of the drawl of politics. I keep to myself and my studies.
Well, if it is something from the Age of Chaos, remember about like a month and a half ago, I think it was, when we saw Keeley doing something in the ocean?
Yep.
That whirlpool?
I'm starting to think that was some charging.
Well, if they were pulling something up that had been, like, sealed under the ocean, that would have sucked the water down, creating that whirlpool effect. So then maybe they found something.
Only in Keeley.
Something beyond their understanding. I would rather an expertise look into it seems like. But of course they would never want their military secrets out and about, so I suppose locking him up in a cage is the better option.
Wait, did he answer when I asked him what he was doing for them?
Not really.
Okay. Again, what were they having you do?
As I said, I've never known them to be interested in astral effects by any means. Why it is they wanted my notes, I wasn't entirely sure. But at the very least, I'm not dumb enough to believe that the Keeley Empire is going to look at it to make the next revolutionary hammer of sorts. There are some purposeful errors written into my notes I've given them, but it won't hold them for long. They have a wizard's college within their walls, and that wizard's college will discover the error and will eventually piece the puzzle together.
Should have set fire to that room.
No spellbook.
I point to Volmer.
If that one was in there, possibly then.
Oh, fuck, okay. That would have been perfect time to fireball that room.
I tore apart whatever bits and pieces I had done for the day. But like I just said, they will find a way to fix it all.
How long did it take to create the astral shard?
Make a persuasion check. You instantly see him giving you a side eye. If Lur didn't even give you that information, I don't have faith in giving you that information.
Lur trusted us enough to find the thing and dispose of it.
Disposing of something is different from learning what it is.
The reason why I ask is because we need to know, we need to have a good enough timeline if they do figure out your notes for Keeley to making them. So we know how
Keeley
and
would be
when.
incapable of making an astral shard. Via the sole factor that even their wizards at their college would never afford some kind of price of that level.
Fucking muted. Jesus Christ. We destroyed the last one. We can destroy this one too.
Yeah.
wasn't.
I would very much enjoy to see you try to destroy something that is within the grasp of a military power such as Keeley.
I mean, we did just kidnap a high-profile prisoner.
From one of
kidnap,
the
but-
least guarded locations.
You said that they're not willing to pay the price to make one of these. What do you mean by that?
I'd like to think that wizards have their own convictions, they have their own minds, and they have their own perspective on things. And while I do believe they probably will have one or two heartless individuals, I don't think they have enough in order to cast the ritual in question. There's a reason Lur never wants to share that secret. And there's a reason Lur and I have not been in contact for quite some decades.
Okay, so as Volmer spent a lot of his life at that college, would there be anyone fitting the description for like a
Oh, absolutely.
cruel ritual?
There are
Yeah.
definitely, like he said, there are definitely some that are just full-on willing to do anything for the magic. But in equal measure, there are still a fair number of wizards in there that would very much be against just straight up making sacrifices of ultimate price to enact anything to occur.
Okay.
How many lives
Where
did
would
it take?
Volmir's grandpa land on that? I'm curious.
He's kind of in the middle. Like, he would pay a very hefty price, but at the same time, he does have a moral compass enough that if it starts costing unnecessary lives, he would start drawing that line.
Okay.
How many lives does it take to make this?
More than you're willing to pay, if that's the question.
How many? Because this is information we need to know. Really involved.
Make a persuasion check. There's a long pause in his answer. Enough to make me lose a personal friend.
That differs person to person. That could be one life, that could be 100 lives. How many?
Populate a village.
This is Keeley we're talking about.
Aye. But they'll need the wizards to do it.
I mean,
And the people aren't the only ones paying the price. The casters pay it as well.
Could
Unless
you,
the Archmage allows it, it's never gonna happen. Unless the Archmage changes.
could you do it without the loss of life if you were, say, an unhinged arcane battery?
As a hypothesis, possibly. But after all, the creation of Astral Shard is something that, as far as I'm aware, only 2 individuals have ever done. Individual groups, that is.
So there's another one out there somewhere?
There was, that's how we got the hypothesis on how to enact it in the first place. However, the shard itself was never discovered.
what was this other group?
An ancient civilization, one we didn't even have a name for. It's an ancient excavation site. In our ages, me and Lur and our colleagues and allies, we adventured around the world to find all sorts of things, all sorts of creations. And one such island upon the waters, before it was swallowed whole by the seas, was one such civilization.
Where was this at?
Making sure I get you the right name.
Right, lore.
I'm also going to the maps too. 'Cause
It was southern. The neglected waves hold many things and are neglected for a reason.
type that out. I couldn't.
The neglected waves is what he calls it.
What would you say before that, though?
Southern.
Southern? Like. Did you say southern?
Southern, yeah. Southern seas.
Okay. What the fuck is that?
Oh, if you look to the map and go south.
Okay, it's south of Boris Land, not just. So that's the direction we haven't actually been.
Nope.
We kinda have actually. When we went to Luma the first time. We had to go south for that.
You wrapped around slightly, yes.
Yeah. Went south
But
and then north.
a bit of information that unironically came up once before and was never followed up on. The seas are sectioned, and they do have names. It was quite literally a joke by you, Jack, where you said, like, do the seas have names? And I said, yeah, of course I have names. And then you just never brought it up again, in or out of game.
Fuck, I don't even remember that.
So it'd be
Yep.
in the Toterial Seas, right?
Yes. Tilteril, but yes.
Toterial, sorry. I can't read. So we never left the Enchanted Waters before, right?
You never watched the Enchanted Waters or the Quiet Waves, no. If you're wondering what the fuck we're talking about, Volmer did eventually ask about it.
Yeah, where though?
I'm getting it.
I asked in DMs, and then we
Yep.
thought it'd be funny for me to just pull that information out
Oh.
of nowhere.
Yep.
Because I'm sitting here looking at the fucking maps and shit and nothing.
One sec, I can copy paste the map that
I'm doing it
TTK
right
sent
now.
me. Okay.
These motherfuckers.
There you go. It's in images and maps.
Okay.
We thought it'd be funny if the one bit of lore I knew that no one else knew was the
Yep.
fucking name of the oceans.
So we got the Cumsea, the
Wait,
He's
Cumber-
fishing for a joke.
Cumber
he
Marcy.
is. It's the Cucumber Sea, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, so we went south and then came up north.
Mm-hmm.
Went around that way. Then followed the coast down to Ashton's friends. Okay. You said the casters paid the price also. Like they died too, or they just lost power?
We simply paid a price. Call it a scar, if you will.
Gauze and magic never mix well.
Aye, they don't.
Well, we're still talking about Keeley here. Threat of death. We'd still probably be able to get the casters. Mustard. Do it.
The Archmage, once again, the Archmage would never allow it. They'd have to get him off of the team, out of the college, and that'd be a challenge in itself.
I mean, they probably have their own court wizards, yes?
They do, but they answer to the Archmage more than the dwarves. The college in itself, as Wilmer is able to easily explain, is while it is under the Keeley Empire, they also hold their own power, being that they could literally bomb the fucking city if they really wanted to.
Who's the current Archmage right now?
Volmir's grandfather.
Are you sure? Or has he been ousted? Have
He
you
hasn't
used sending to check in with him recently?
He hasn't checked in 2.5 months, but last he checked, it was.
And it would take, I feel like it would take longer than 2.5 months to oust Archmage.
I mean, technically it'll take one night if you go by Dalmar standards.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, assassination's one hell of a bitch.
Has he been taken out recently?
But also in equal measure, and obviously Dalmar's no fool, and neither is Volmer, but Archmage suddenly dying overnight, that's a different story to it looking like an accident.
Also, I
mean-
imagine assassinating an Archmage with high political power, who's probably at least somewhat, like, aware that he's likely to get assassinated in Keeley, would be a huge challenge.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it would be a huge challenge, but it's not something that's not doable. Especially if Keeley, the dwarven military side of it, is digging up old ancient artifacts from the Age of Chaos. At that point in time, taking out one Archmage is probably not that hard. I mean, how old's your grandpa?
I think he was alive in the Age of Chaos?
Yes.
Jesus.
So this motherfucker could just die of old age and, no one would bat an eye.
You should check on that.
A little bit of poison here and there goes a long way.
Alright, guess Wilmer's gonna call his grandfather.
Call your grandpa!
Yep.
Tell him you love him and you're thinking about him.
Hi, Grandpa. This is a welfare check.
I'm pretty sure your life alert is still active, but just in case.
Oh my god.
It ran out of batteries. He fell down like 3 months ago and you didn't.
I don't even know what Wilmer would like. How do you naturally say, "Hey, fantasy grandpa," who's fucking like? There's no way to naturally start a conversation there with sending.
No, there's definitely a way to naturally start a conversation there. Hey,
I'm
found some shit. Keely's dealing with some wizard fuck. Are you still the Archmage?
fair.
I don't, there's ways to do that.
I mean, I feel like straight ass. Like, I don't know. I'm also terrible socially,
Yes,
which is
yes,
ironic because Wilmer has like, a decently high charisma at this point.
Actually, here's another good question. What side does your grandpa fall on with the rebels and not?
He's okay. So, I. Do you want what Wilmer knows, or do you want what player knows?
I mean,
'Cause
what Volmer would tell us.
knows. He would say that although he would never out the revolution, he never wanted Volmer to join. He was always against Volmer getting directly involved. Because through the revolution, through his dad joining the revolution, his daughter died.
Okay, so resents him.
Not really, it's...
Oh.
Yeah.
Blames him, blames the revolution. But
Like,
wouldn't
he
out
gets
them.
it, but he doesn't support it, you know? Like, he wishes it was someone else, basically.
I'm just
Would be a
getting,
good way to put it.
I don't know why, but that just made me think of Nazi Germany. Yeah, a lot of people were just kind of like that too. Just oh yeah, whatever. It's not affecting me, so I'm not going to look at it.
I mean, to be fair, he's an elf in Keeley. It probably very directly affects him.
It was just a thought. Yeah. I mean, fuck. Just send a message, be like, "Hey, how you doing? It's been a while."
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking in my head. Don't worry.
Like, you don't have to say
Yo,
we found
you
some
dead?
shit.
I was say, yeah, you don't have to use all 25. You could just do a, "Hi, Grandpa," and just that's it.
You pooping?
Oh my god. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to say, "Hey, Keeley might try to assassinate you, so watch out for poison." But
You are be the dead.
Question mark. Yes.
No. It has to be you are be the dead grandpa greater than question mark.
Yes.
Ken has
Exactly.
cheeseburger.
Just like that. Yo, I need my allowance. Please forward this to this bank account.
You
Fuck.
think Wilmer gets an allowance? Wizards be stingy as fuck.
Did you use up your trust fund paper?
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm counting right now.
Yeah.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 exactly.
Nice.
Better noise.
Whispered to KTK
Okay.
and casting
Aw.
sending.
With send more paper, I'm out.
Volmer, okay.
Volmer
It's
doesn't use
funny
paper.
that-
What am I talking about? He doesn't learn new spells.
Damn. You giving her way too much shit.
I know. I'm sorry, Volmer. I'm sorry. Only kinda.
Bulma, feel free to tell her to fuck off.
It's fine.
I'm
That's
not aggressive
totally
enough
fine.
for that, chat.
Ashrin, fuck off.
Alright. Fine. I'll stop if it's bugging you. I'll stop. Wouldn't hurt to pick up a scroll or two and learn some spells occasionally, though.
I've been looking at them. I'm just too broke half the time.
That is true. We are
That's fair. We're very
without
broke.
constantly getting money.
I was saying,
back.
and even worse now, given that you now lost your 2 bank accounts.
Yes. Our sugar mama theys are gone.
Good news. He's alive.
Okay, bad news?
Bad news?
Bad news.
He's in prison
like,
too?
No, more about the revolution than him. Don't worry about it. I'm just thinking.
What did he say?
He said my father's day is approaching, which leaves me concerned, but also I'm curious. Volmir's like clearly like somewhat freaking out in his head as like his thoughts are running a mile a minute, and you can tell he's like running through his brain of what the fuck is going on.
Oh, great. I am not ready to get into this Keeley bullshit right now with my magic that's unstable.
Do I push for information on the new discovery from
That
Keeley?
depends on how many 3rd level spell slots you have left, also. Keep
Well,
account
you
of
can
that.
upcast
I
it,
haven't
use
cast-
higher spell slots.
I have no 3rd levels, but I have 3 4th levels and 2 5th levels, so I can
Yeah.
use Zod.
Just saying.
Walking and talking.
Yeah.
Well, you think of your reply. I'm gonna ask him again. So how long does it actually take to make one of these? Let's say all the stars align. They have the
We need to
casters.
know how
they have
much
the
time we
sacrifice.
have.
That would entirely depend on the actual preparation that has been done.
Say they were ready to start right now.
A week.
Okay.
At the bare minimum, the work will take that long. And that's assuming they understand the work cleanly.
But you were working on that for them, so they don't understand it yet?
He was
More
mistranslating.
like... I was a bad translator.
How long do you think it'll take for them to translate your bad translations?
Well, if what you say is true about your individual here now, whose grandfather has been alive since the Age of Chaos, perhaps not that long. Depending on how many individuals of those kinds they have. A matter of weeks. Maybe months if you're not going to delegate that kind of knowledge and intellect to my scripture.
How many people of Volmir's Gramps' level were there? Just
4.
since he brought that up.
4.
4, okay. So, yeah, that's rough.
4 at that college or 4 in the world?
4 at that college.
Okay.
Because you know for a fact, Xal'Mel, he
Yeah.
full on admitted that he was alive during the Age of Chaos.
I am pretty sure the king. I know it's a
Well-
lot to guess their age, but I'm pretty sure the king and queen of Luma were
They were. They
I feel like
Yeah.
told us that.
she might be a bit offended for you guessing her age.
I
She might be pissed.
they did tell us that they were alive around then.
It did.
yeah, he did
But-
say that he witnessed the age of chaos and survived even till now. So he's like, yeah, I was alive then.
He admitted that. She did not.
I
And
mean,
then,
Don't assume her age.
Unless
kick
there's
your
a
ass.
couple hundreds of years of age difference, I'm pretty sure.
That is not unheard of.
and then we are assuming that Mistress Ryra, whatever she or Raya, whatever the fuck her name is, because you made
Rira,
those two so
yeah.
fucking close. Like,
I didn't realize that until after the fact.
No.
Yeah.
as in
The
we're,
Mistress of Stanbury, who's
Yes.
scary as shit.
so she's also been alive since the Age of Chaos too, as one of the pupils along with Saramir.
Well, should we give Volmer a week to figure out what he's responding to his grandpa, or
Or if he's gonna do it at all.
I don't think Volmer's gonna do it quite yet.
Fair enough.
He's gonna.
gonna
What
sit
about-
on that information for a second?
Yeah.
What about warning your grandpa about doing any work for the Keeling Empire around these notes? I mentioned that they probably shouldn't. Talking world ending almost.
I mean, even though I feel like him. Okay. Would Volmer's grandfather realistically be able to just say no to an order like that, even if they're their own like political power?
To a partial extent, yes and no. Yes, he can demote the necessity or the delegation of assets towards a certain project, but in equal measure, he can't just say these don't matter, because obviously if they're handing it to him in the first place, they're like, these are important, and if he just looks and goes, no, they're not, they're gonna look at that like that's fucking weird.
If he
Okay.
delegated it down to some pissant wizard, freshman, to work on over himself or
This
anyone
is-
in the
this
upper
is-
tier.
The
That's where Volmer
TA
was,
for this weird obscurity professor.
No, this is the TA's
In the
fucking
basement.
assistant. Like,
Yes.
yeah, we're. This is
This
the.
is where
I-
Volmer was.
The
put
TA's
when he
research
found the
assistant who works
sword.
in the basement all day.
Yeah,
It's where Volmer was when he was first assigned to the sword.
right?
Yeah.
Like, that would be ideal, because at least that would give us time. Because. Them having. Did you already send off notes?
I was there for a month. What do you think?
Okay, I didn't know if they were waiting for it all to be translated at one time, or if they sent off pages at a time.
Day by the day.
Fuck. Okay. So even destroying the area wouldn't really have mattered that much, I guess.
No, but it would have been a good stopgap.
Would have. Fuck, okay.
And it's all the more reason I took my own journals with me as well.
Okay. Well,
I need to go back to the spellbook one day. I'm joking.
well. I guess we get you back to your house, get that notebook, and we can get the fuck out of here for now.
Indeed. And as you all travel off to the southern distance, back towards what remains of Cassius' home, as you rest for the day, we'll pick back up next week. Fucking Dalmar's Looney Tunes adventure through the embassy.
Alright.